Hey guys, welcome back to Andertons TV. Once again, I'm joined by John Connon, and we've got something slightly different today to bring to you.
Digital John.
John and I have been set the challenge by the presenters to come up with the ultimate metal rig for under £1,000.
Tricky one, actually.
Yeah, so John and I are both, as you can probably tell in the videos, very different players. John's very good. I'm not.
None of that. No. We can't have that.
But we're both very different players, very different backgrounds. So,
But we love our metal.
We do both love our metal. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. John obviously has a bit more of the digital kind of side to him. I'm more old school amp influence. So, it is going to be interesting to see what route you've gone down.
Yeah, I mean, £1,000 was, on the face of it, a lot of money. Like, if I gave you £1,000, you'd be like, thanks, that's actually really generous.
I would have a great holiday.
But with, like, you know, music kit, you have to kind of cut some corners and compromise.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, is it expensive amp, cheap guitar, or vice versa? Do you go pedals? Do you not go pedals? Do you literally just go guitar and amp? So, we'll see. But, you know, I'm willing to be convinced that yours is better. I'm gonna have an open mind.
I mean, it's worth pointing out, I don't know what John has gone for either. I know mine's better,
same.
but I don't know what John's gone for. So,
we'll see.
Shall we see the rigs?
Let's see the rigs. Let's do it.
No, I've lost it. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, yes, I'm immediately... All right, I'll move over a bit. Thank you, Tay. I think so. It's not digital, though, is it?
No, it's not good either.
Ah, trash talk. All right. So, I need to remind myself of what's on this amp, because I did the demo of this with Lee about a year ago. Year and a half, I think, actually.
I love this.
Have you gone pedals?
Don't know.
You don't know?
Don't know, find out.
I have gone pedals. I can't actually remember which ones I got. Just straight up.
This is why I think I'll win. I think mine's going to cut through more.
Yes, that's what I got. I remember now. So.
Yeah, Roy. Let me get my...
Decadent is what that is. Let's start at the amps. Explain yourself. Go on.
Orange are the best amps. I don't know if I can say that, but yeah, I'm an orange guy pretty much through and through. I use a 112 at home and for live rig situations, and they just sound massive, to be honest with you. I do most of my recording with a 112. I've had one of the micro darks over the years as well, and again, in a gigging scenario, fantastic. With the addition, I'm trying to balance pedals on my legs here and the flying V, so I think I've lost that battle. It has got an effects loop, which you can also see. So
£149.
£149 for that.
It's not much.
Yeah, again, the one thing that it kind of needs, which is where obviously yours will be better than mine, is the EQ, but that's why man's got an EQ pedal.
Smart, yeah.
Street smarts,
I should have thought about that, actually. So that is 150, let's call that. What's the speaker?
249, around there. I mean, we'll have all the links below anyway, so you can check all the prices on the
So you've got best
website.
part of 600 quid for the rest?
Yeah.
Kinda. Okay, so 5150, the iconic amplifier of just heavy metal and saturation. So my mindset going into this, and what we talked about earlier, I was like, it's going to be expensive amp and I will deal with the rest of it. I'm just going to get the best amp I can for... I was willing for like have 50% to 70% of my budget on the amp, because guitars, if you choose the right brand, they're going to be playable. I just wanted something that's playable, that had humbuckers, that should be fine. These are, I think, around 600-700, so that's quite a big percentage of my grand to splash on this. But I did the demo with Lee, I want to say like a year and a half ago. It's probably up, go and watch it. But it just had tons of gain and it's got more than I need, 100%. So I was like, I'm going to get a boost pedal anyway, but I might not need it. I'm just going to have gain in the bank. Think of it that way. In ISAs, all over the place, that I'm not going to use, just to, flex it. But that's going to be a great amp. Then I was like, okay, so I've got 300 quid, I think. If it's 700 quid, 300 quid. So I think these are I want to say 220 something. Yeah, so the JS series Dinkies by Jackson are £229. Which,
that's a lot of guitar.
Yeah, when you look at it, like, they're actually...
The top on it's really cool as well, to be fair.
I think they had another finish on it, but like, I thought blue was cool. So I went with blue. shark fin inlays. It's a Jackson. It's definitely a Jackson. And we both went Jackson, which is kind of cool.
We've both gone Jackson.
So yeah, that left me around about what, less than 50 to 80 quid on pedals.
Yeah.
70. Ignore the maths. I'm thinking on my feet. But I was like, okay, what would be nice to plug that gap of about 70 quid? And I thought, for the Van Halen thing, obviously 5150.
Yeah.
I need a phaser.
Fair play.
So phase 90 was going to be too much. That was just too much cash. But Summer Orange. Perfect. I did a little demo on this recently. Tone City.
They're actually really good.
Tone City pedals, really nifty. And I think on the video, I literally just put everything noon, banged it on, and it was Ain't Talking About Love, like straight away. Really good. So Summer Orange for the phaser thing. And then the Landlord Effects Amber Nectar, which is just an overdrive. Like, I would have gone Tube Screamer and done that,
Yeah.
but even the mini Tube Screamer, I think I was like 10 quid over.
Yeah.
If that. So I was like, no, I need to be less than £1,000. So I went for this. I never played one, but I was like, let's just give it a go. And overdrives are overdrive. Just being real, they filter and saturate. So this will do the job. And that all came to £996. So I've got £4 for a pint somewhere.
Oh. Well, you can't go next door to the drum and get one though. That's the issue. You've got to go all the way down to
Like
Spoons.
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke at least. Cool. Right. On to the winning rig. So, guitar-wise,
Yes.
I have a slight bias towards this because I actually own one of these as well.
Okay.
So I know exactly what I'm getting with this. This is the Jackson JS32 King V.
It's ballindy, isn't it?
Which is why I gig it. I dep in a Biscuit tribute band occasionally, and I know that I've changed no parts on my one personally, and I know I can gig it.
Mm-hmm.
The Floyd trem style, it stays in tune no matter how much abuse I give it. The pickups, fantastic under high gain, so I knew it's a solid choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of flying V or V guitars anyway, so for me it was a no-brainer. These come in around about 329 as well, so
Yeah.
It still gave me plenty to play with in terms of pedals. So where I think you'll come unstuck as well, the most boring pedal, noise reducer.
Yeah. Oh, this has a gate, I think. Yeah. See? Thought of it all.
Great news. So let's move that to one side then. I've lost that one.
Yeah, checkmate again.
My overdrive.
Oh, you
Again,
got the mini Tube Screamer, right?
Got one of these on my board. I'm basically trying to bring as much of my home rig in as possible, but again, complete bias. The mini Tube Screamer sounds absolutely fantastic for not a lot of money as well, so that was a no-brainer. Just to tighten up a little bit at the low end, which Orange are, renowned for. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. This is just tonally speaking. Then in the effects loop of the amp, just to do a little bit more shaping because I don't have...
Fixing, not shaping, but fixing. Yeah. Just saying.
Weak. Obviously, John's got separate 3-band EQ. He's got a little bit more tweakage going on, but that doesn't matter because he's just compensating for his lack of tone. So I'm going to go for the GE7, and then for a wee bit of, leady goodness, the New X analog delay because you need a bit of delay in there.
Yeah.
Every guitarist needs a bit of delay, and that is the winning rig. So thanks for watching. I've been Ben. He's been John.
No.
I do think it's time that we do here.
Yeah, let's plug it in.
Let's do it.
I win. Thank you and good night. Thank you. Thank you to the Academy. Thank you to Andertons. we go. That was cool. I granted the Floyd's good for that. And that only. Again, these are kind of factory fresh guitars basically, so everything needs a bit of a stretching. So I'll go through mine first, I guess. So
yeah, go for
this Jackson Dinky, I put it in tune straight away. I've now put it well out because I've just done that. But it stayed in tune actually really well. Like we've had these out for about an hour now, and I even had time for a little salad. I was like, tone's fine. Don't need to, stretch
It
the
looked a
strings
nice
anymore.
salad as well.
Yeah.
That's important.
Waitrose. Oxford Services. So, I did that literally, just sorted out. Can you see these on the cam? I was above? Yeah. So Summer Orange, like I talked about, these tone city pedals, just if you put everything at noon, it just kind of is how the effect should sound, I think. Anyway, it's my boring way of dialing stuff in, but everything's at noon and it just sounded great. Like if I... It has the vowel-y kind of quality that you want from a phaser, and does the job. And then, the Amber Nectar, I haven't really added much gain at all because this has got so much gain. It didn't really need it. It just needed, obviously, a bit because it's an overdrive, but I'm just using it as a level boost. I've got it in hammered mode as opposed to half cut. Tone's just at noon. I could warm it up because this is quite a bright, fizzy kind of gain. I can tell people just going to go in the comments, oh, it's too fizzy, I don't like it. But basically, that's just how it sounds. Like, it had a fizzy scoop sound, metal is scooped. Deal with it. So, and you'll... Deal with it. So, the mids are also cranked. I've literally got them on, I'm going to tell you something. They're literally on about 8. Highs and lows are also in the mids. So it's 5, 8 and 5, and 8 is the mids. So you can tell, this is a scoop amp. I've got no reverb on at the minute because that's not very metal. Well, it kind of is. So if I... Kind of like a spring.
Oh, sounds delightful.
Yeah, so I was like, nah. And then, what was the other thing I was going to talk about? Yeah, resonance and presence. These are really powerful, actually. You might not get the full effect of this on the internet, but if I...
Do you want me to...
Yeah, if I just chug and then Ben's going to... If we do resonance off and then bring it in, there's so much low-end, like, wub that comes in. So... Like tons of air moving, which feels good anyway, but it got a bit much, and if you obviously boost that, it gets too scooped.
Yeah.
And then same with presence, like if we dug that off, it's going to be darker, it's not warm, but... Super grainy and bright. So that's why they're around 4. And yeah, like I say, there's a gate on it, which I believe we called subtle. Gates off. It's choking it pretty well. If I had more gain though, it doesn't really do much. Like this is off, that's on. It just kind of chills it out. It doesn't really cut it off like you want a gate. It's like an ajar gate. It's like leaving a gate a bit open. That is like a noise off reducer, isn't it? But other than that, I'm very happy with this rig. I think everything does the job pretty well. And the only thing I'd miss actually is a bit of delay like you've got. I did think that's a good shout.
Yeah,
but...
so if you've managed to not fall asleep through John going through all of his various settings on his amp, then you'll get to mine, the superior rig. Obviously I've gone for the orange micro dark. Does what it says on the tin. Volume, just drop in the comment section what you think that means. Shape, which is your EQ. Again, it basically goes from sort of left side will be a darker sound, bring it over, it's going to give you more treble. So all the way to the left is just pretty dark and horrible. All the way to the left is going to be to the right, sorry, is going to be too sharp. So somewhere in the middle is quite nice. The gain I'm riding fairly high, just to get that push that I need out of it. But that's really all there is on the amp.
If you turn that noise reducer off, how annoying is it?
So it's more of that sort of after, because obviously I've got a Floyd trem system, so it catches all that sort of spring noise. So without it, you get
smart.
It just dampens it down a little bit. But it's when you actually kick in the tube screamer, so it's going to be kind of hard to see even on the overheads there. But level, I'm maxing out. tone is sitting at about 12 o'clock.
Yep.
And then the overdrive sort of level itself is about 10 o'clock, so it's adding a little bit more juice, but just tightening up low end. So without it, with it.
So you had that on the entire time?
Had that on the entire time,
Right.
which is how I run my rigs at home. EQ, again, I'm running in the loop. There's not a crazy amount going on here. So that's running in the loop just to kind of shape a few bits. So scooping out a bit of muddiness at 200 hertz, pushing mids a little bit, sort of upper mids, about 1.6. So it sounds really odd when you turn it off in the room and then bring it back in. So without it, it's... And with it,
Right.
just gives it much more mid-range,
Yeah.
which is what yours lacks, obviously.
Don't need it.
Then,
Don't need it.
Again, delay just for a bit of lead work.
It does sound great. Is it
Yeah.
like an analog? Oh, analog delay.
Yeah,
literally
analog,
says
so
it.
it's just a little bit warmer, you know. But again, that's pretty much all there is to my rig, to be honest with you. Mine came in at about 985 there a take, so I've actually got enough money for a pint. I can even buy John one as he loses this challenge. So yeah, like, subscribe,
Don't need a
drop the
sympathy
comments in below who you think actually does win, and be sure to click that bell notification to get any updates from the channel as well.
Like and subscribe as well. Shall we have a jam?
I think let's have another little jam.
Jazz outro. Here we go.
Jazz outro.